Hello, girlfriends. Today we are talking one of my favorite topics, layering so that you look taller and slimmer. So I have layering tips for you if you live on the East Coast where it's freezing cold, like it is in New York at the moment. I mean, icy cold. I've got some great tips for you. I've also got some great tips for you if you live in a warmer climate, because often in a warmer climate, it's kind of like, I'm not sure, right? Does it feel like winter? It doesn't really, but you still want to have that layering effect. And the wonderful thing about layering, girlfriends, is that you can use layering as a tool to disguise the parts of your body that you're not so crazy about and draw attention to the parts of your body that you are. And so today, this is what we're going to be talking about. I'm going to be breaking it down for you, giving you a whole bunch of tips, and hopefully having a lot of fun. If you don't know me already, I'm Tracy Gold. I'm a personal stylist, designer, and show host. So if any of this stuff makes sense to you and you need further tips, look in the description. There is some detail on the kind of consultations that I do. And most of the clothes that you're going to see either are from my collection or they're ones from my own closet that I have thrifted or found in sample sales, etc. But we're going to have lots of fun, and I'm hoping some of the things in your closet will work perfectly for you. Okay, so let's start off by saying that when it comes to cold weather, we can use our coat as an outer outfit, right? Almost as if an outfit on its own. Because for the most part, we wear a coat and then we take it off and go inside. So sometimes I find that whole thing of like wearing an amazing coat that matches my outfit, or depending on the coat to make the outfit, is somewhat problematic. Okay, so we're going to talk about how to do coats. But before I do that, I want to say that the secret to good layering, and this is the case across the board, whether you are in super warm, like a super cold climate, or kind of mediocre California kind of weather, the kind of pieces that you need in your closet for good layering are things like what I'm wearing now, which is a body stocking. So this is a body stocking. I'm not lying. I have a ton of them. I have them in almost every color. And what I like about them is that they're a little bit more interesting than just a long sleeve cotton top, which you can use. So I use those too. And so you can have those pieces that are a really good form-fitting kind of top that isn't going to add extra bulk underneath, but it's going to give you that layering. What this does is it also allows you to wear things like in a three-quarter sleeve. So as an example, and I'm going to be using this as a layering piece a little bit later, but as an example, let's say you have a three-quarter blouse or top or dress, and now it's freezing cold outside. It gives you that full length effect, but it adds interest and texture to it, right? So on this kind of thing. There's also, I use body stockings a lot for sleeveless items. I'll show you a little bit later, like some sleeveless things that, when you have a body stocking, you can pop a body stocking on underneath it. And what it means is that it makes your outfits and your closet last for a much longer period of time. Okay, so it means that they're going to last for interseasonally and right almost throughout the year. All right, so these body stockings are ideal. I have this one, by the way. I do have very limited. The fabric is like super limited, and then I have a navy one as well. I'm going to bring this close to the camera. I love navy as a neutral. Hello, Laura. Laura was here in my studio last week, and Laura, we had so much fun. How divine was it? It was so amazing to see you. Okay, so this is the navy one. The navy is amazing because it is a different color neutral to black. I find navy is great for close to your face because as we get a little bit older, we feel like, well, we do. We lose color in our hair. We lose color in our skin. We don't have as much contrast in our complexion. And so a navy is just lighter. It's softer on the skin. Okay. Now, so that is the first thing. Body stockings are an absolute lifesaver when it comes to layering. And I have lived both in Cape Town, which is similar to um, California in a way, and then I live here in New York. and it's freezing during the winter time. So, but still, these layers are great. Even if I'm wearing it completely underneath like a big sweater, it's great to have that layer. It kind of creates, I like to almost close up everything on underneath, tuck it into my tights, tuck it into my, have my socks over it, and create this like almost vacuum piece on underneath. And it does keep me warm, which is amazing. The second thing that you really need, and it will vary according to where you live. I love tights. Like tights for me are a girl's best friend. Now, if you're in the very cold climate, you may need to have some kind of denier tights that are around sort of 50. Okay, so 50 denier, which kind of talks about the thickness of them. So a 50 denier tight would be thicker than your normal tight, but it's not going to be super thick so where it's going to be too hot for you. And then you have your thermals. And the thermal tights, girlfriend, is what I'm wearing at the moment, and I love them. And what I love about thermal tights is that you can create the vacuum, and I'm going to show you just now when I take it off what I do because I actually tuck everything in. So it creates a really nice warm vacuum, almost a layer that keeps your body heat inside. And then you can wear your skirts and your dresses and your flimsier things and your softer things and still enjoy it. You don't have to wear such bulky layers because let's be honest, especially as a petite girl, bulky layers, shapeless things are going to make you look frumpy. They're going to make you look bigger and shorter than you are. The other thing that you want to do, and this is something that I'm wearing right now, is to have some good belts in your closet. And you'll see what I mean, especially as you start to layer your pieces and you're getting layer upon layer upon layer. What you want to make sure to do is to define your waist. Because, girlfriends, especially for those of us who are petite, defining your waist, well, it's actually for everybody. Even if you're 6 foot tall and you're a woman, still you need to define your waist because the waist is going to make your legs look longer. It's going to show the natural balance between your shoulders and your hips. And it's going to, and even if you feel like you don't have much of a waist, which is me, I don't feel like I have much of a waist. I'm pretty straight up and down. A belt like this actually forms a waist. All right. So those are like the base pieces that everybody needs, regardless of your how hot or cold it is in your climate. Now let's talk about those who are living in a cold climate. Okay. So I'm a big believer in having a fabulous coat. And I mean like a fabulous coat, a coat that is an outfit all in of itself. So when you are thinking of your coat, you don't necessarily need to think, is my coat going to go with my outfit? No, you are wearing your coat as an outfit outdoors. And why always wear just a black coat? Because it goes with everything. You don't have to wear a black coat. You can wear a red coat. You can wear a bright color. You can wear something. So I'm going to show you mine. This I actually call my joy giver because every time I wear it, and I'm not exaggerating, every single time I wear it, which is like every day in the winter time, because this is just my coat, because it's lightweight and it's fabulous. I love it. It just brings people so much, it's so much joy. And every time I wear it, everybody, like I get complimented on it. Everybody goes, love your coat, love your coat. Oh my goodness, your coat, love your coat. Okay, so it brings people joy. But what I love about it is that it is long enough to cover up most of what I'm wearing. So it doesn't really matter. Does it match? Does it not? It doesn't matter. This is this is a great color and kind of goes with everything. And it's lightweight and it is super warm. It is like the most functional coat. I even go for, like, if I go for walks in Central Park, I will wear this coat because it's lightweight enough. It's not heavy and it is super warm. What's nice also with this color is that I can go up like this and I don't really have to wear a scarf. I can actually lift that up. Oh, I didn't even realize that really. I can lift that, now I know. I can lift it up and it can keep my neck warm. But hey, if you do need a scarf, and listen, there are times, especially like I find here my face gets really cold and I've actually had like almost chilblain type of vibes, like very dry skin. My skin gets very dry. So sometimes I feel the need for protection around my face. And so I'm all about a good scarf that goes with your coat. All right. Now I actually have these. This is from Rome. They are made just outside of Rome. I actually have a whole collection of them. Take a look inside of my store, Tracy Gold, New York, and you can just search scarf and you'll find them. And they're actually on 20% sale at the moment. And they're a two in one. So they have one side is one side and the other is the other side and different colorways. Now I happen to choose this one because A, I love the colors, but also B, it goes with my coat. So I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry like, am I matching? First of all, I don't have to worry about am I matching my outfit because it's completely covering my outfit. I don't have to think about does the scarf go with my outfit? Do I need a million scarves? You don't necessarily. Now you may want to and you may love that, and that's okay, but you don't have to. Okay. So this for me is great. What I also love about this coat is that it has shape. So even though it's thick, and we do have to have thick, bulky, very warm, I mean, like there's no doubt about it. It has waist definition. Can you see that? It has that kind of, it is Italian, and that is probably why. So the Italians have got a different, I mean, my inspiration mostly comes from Italian dressing. It just does, and designers. So it has that shape and then it goes and it flares out. And to me, it doesn't have to be super shapely. It's not like it has to nip in and be tight. No, because you do need to layer it. You do need to be able to wear things underneath it. But can you see how it does it? It has that triangle shape that I'm always talking about. Okay, so this is for somebody who is in a very warm climate. Find a coat that you love, that you can wear almost all the time, that's going to be good to put over your clothes. Make sure it has some shape. I'm just just doing a little recon, and then have a scarf and a hat maybe that go exactly with it. And don't worry yourself too much about whether this goes with what you've got on underneath it, because you're going to take it off anyway. And this is an outfit all in all of its own. Okay, so now let's talk about, and by the way, this coat's not available. This was a coat that I got at a sample sale. It was a Pinko sample sale here in New York. So sorry, girlfriends. I have not seen it around ever again. Mm. I think I sold one and I got one. So anyway, now we can talk about other coats and jackets. Now, if that's not available to you, or sometimes you don't necessarily want a very long coat, you can also do a faux fur. And a faux fur can be super glam. Like, I mean, super glam. That's what I love about faux fur, is that it's actually super warm. This is a size medium. You don't have to be that concerned with the size because you can wear it as an oversized. I mean, this is a medium, and okay, so the length of the sleeve is all right. And it is a little bulky, but it does have that oversized look. The only thing though is, and this is the thing, when you are wearing a shorter jacket, then what you're wearing on underneath it does matter. Okay, because now you have it sticking out. So my recommendation is, if you're going to go for a shorter coat, then you kind of want to match your outfit and have your jacket as an extent, or your coat as an extension of your outfit. I'll show you another one. I mean, there was this one that I tried on last week, and I had it on with this burgundy dress, and it looks like it's just made for this thing. I mean, it's that's a perfect example, is that when you have that perfect match, it is very beautiful. I mean, this is okay, so this is a large, and you can see I've actually worn this as an oversized. So these are thrifted, and I found them in places in New York. I've searched them out. I love good quality faux fur, not that kind of very trashy looking faux fur, that really good quality faux fur, and this is one of them. Okay, then let's talk about, so that is an option. So if you're going to do a faux fur jacket, and you're going to do it, or a jacket of any kind that is shorter, yes, you do need to consider what you're wearing on underneath. That's what I love about a long coat. And the nice thing about a coat is that, you don't have to worry about it. You just throw it on and it looks good. Okay, so let's talk about, if you were living in like California or Florida, which is really pretend winter. I mean, let's be honest, guys, you just do not have winter, like nothing like it. Then you want to have a jacket. Okay, so I'm going to talk outerwear first, and then I'm going to go into the layering of your outfits, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty, which will relate to everybody. Now, this can still relate to everybody because quite honestly, I actually wear jackets sometimes as blouses or as a top, and then I put my coat on over it. So the thing that you want to look for is a shorter, cropped, nipped in the waist kind of jacket. All right. Even if you're looking at a moto jacket or something like that, choose a style that is cropped, that has got some shape to it. Anything that is boxy, girlfriends, and I know it's very tempting, especially when we get to that place where we have the like, the tummy situation. During perimenopause and menopause, I feel it as well. The temptation is to sometimes just go boxy because then, oh, well, it doesn't matter and it's not gonna, it's like, oh, it's perfect. It'll be fine. It'll hide everything. Actually, boxy is going to make you look bigger everywhere. So what you want, I mean, this is a little vintage one that I got. And so I love vintage. Like I actually only buy leather when it's vintage. And this has got that nipped in. Do you see that? What this is also doing, and this is important as we are petite women. I'm 5'3", by the way, in case you're wondering. Because sometimes I know on camera I look much taller than I really am. I was looking at some photographs of myself the other day and I was like, wow, I look like I'm 6 foot tall. And I'm definitely not 6 foot tall. I wish I was, but not. Okay. So one of the things that is great about a cropped and shorter jacket is that it also balances the volume of whatever you're wearing on underneath it. So especially, and that is another tip, is that when you are layering, you want to balance the volume. So, as an example, if you are wearing wide leg pants, you're wearing something, it may be a slightly wider leg, it may be an ultra wide leg. You want to make sure to balance the top with something more fitted and not have something that is volume plus volume because that is going to overwhelm your frame and it's going to make you look shorter and bigger often. Okay. So you want to balance it out. So in this case, this is a voluminous skirt. And so the jacket, because the jacket is short and it's fitted, it actually balances the volume beautifully and it still shows my shape. Okay. Does that make sense? The other thing that you want to consider is like what footwear you're wearing. I love long boots because long boots give me the opportunity to wear skirts that are kind of at weird length sometimes. So what I find, what I personally do in my own collection is I create skirts and dresses that have got asymmetrical or some kind of interesting hemline. So this is like a bubble skirt, all right? It also can be worn as a dress. Just, I'll show you what I mean. You're probably thinking to yourself, what? Like, what on earth? No, it really is. Okay. So let me show you and then we can talk about it as well. So what you want to do when you're wearing boots and tights is that you can wear the same color. Now, in this instance, I just happen to have black tights on because that worked with what I was, because of the body stocking, and I'm going to be trying on different things. But what I would essentially do is I would have a brown tight and a brown boot, and that is going to elongate my legs. Obviously, it's going to be wonderful to show more leg because as you are a petite woman, a little bit of extra leg makes you appear taller. And long boots kind of continue that line, right? They make it go on forever. If you are, however, wearing something that is kind of at a weird length for you, like this can be kind of a weird length. This sits just below my knee. But what's great is that the boot continues the line. It makes it go longer. It continues that line to elongate and make it look fabulous. So you want to always think elongation. What can be weird, and I'll tell you honestly, like what I don't find works very well is when you're wearing this kind of length and then you wear a cropped boot because that doesn't continue the line unless you have it exactly in the same color. That can work, but for me, I feel like this is better. If you're going to wear a cropped boot, rather show some leg. So if I'm doing this and I'm wearing the crop boot and tights, that would be fine. Do you understand what I'm saying? But when it's at a weird length, you don't want it to be too choppy. Choppy is it's going to shorten your length and it's not going to be elongating. Okay, so we've done the jackets. The other thing that you can look at, and this is one of my favorite pieces at the moment, and it is also because, listen, like perimenopause is not fun when it comes to body changes, and it happens all over the like it's 1 minute it's this thing and then the other minute it's that thing. Now, this here can happen. Okay, so suddenly your bra, you're kind of getting that back fat sort of feeling, and that sometimes is just because your boobs are feeling bigger because it depends on what's happening in your hormones. I definitely feel it. I feel like sometimes I'm popping out of my bra, and then other times I feel absolutely fine. Would you belt the dress? Yes, that's a great question, Laura. Yes, you can wear it as belted or not. So this is the skirt. Like if you wear it as a skirt, and then you can go in and you can belt the dress. I love doing that, and I'm actually going to show you as well with the waistcoat, with the vest, how you can also nip it in. It's brilliant. So you can do that. I do that as well. But the fun thing is, you don't have to. Do you know what I'm saying? You can leave it or not. It's completely up to you. You can also belt it when you're wearing it as a skirt. So you can have it higher up if you want. Let's say you want to give yourself a little bit more, like you want to shorten the length. You can then do that. And this will give you a shorter length and still a piece of is at the top. And that's okay because unless you are very short waisted, this may not look very good. If you're long waisted, it'll work. Otherwise, you can do that. And then it makes it more of a continuation. Yes. So that's really fun. The other thing that you can do is to work with the vest. So let me show you how you can do the vest. And the vest is great because it covers, like when we're going through that kind of popping out of our bras look, because that is definitely happening to me, then it gives that coverage there, but it still has shape. So this is another way that you can really emphasize your waist and layer and get that warmth. So what I love about a waistcoat or a vest is that it gives you that body warmth. It gives this body warmth, but it also gives it shape and style. And it looks intentional and stylish. So you can do that. You can also zip it. Oh, wait. It's completely it's completely the same size inside and out because I liked the look of that. And so it's got the zip up and then the volume sticks out around it. Okay. Or you can do this. You can go up here and then do this. Now, if you have big girls, I'm going to show you another option. So you can do that, and then it really makes it look like a bubble skirt. This is also the wonderful thing about the skirt is that because of the volume, it allows you to adjust where the volume is if you need it. So let's say for argument's sake, it's not going to work for your girls because you have really voluminous girls. You've got big girls. You can then go there and you can zip it up. You see, like that. You can also, what is really nice is that if you are having a moment, this has got texture to it. I'm going to come up close to the camera so you can see. It's actually it's chiffon that's been done in a circular pattern onto black stretch mesh. So it has got texture to it and it's got movement. Now, what's nice is that let's say you're feeling quite like bloated, then what you can do is you can pull it up a little bit and you have more volume around there and it still creates a sense of a waist. Does that make sense? Or if you're not having that and you feel good, you can wear it further down. You can adjust it to your body and what your body is doing on any given day. Okay, so this is the thing about layers. You want to, and girlfriends, this is the thing. When we're going through these perimenopausal, menopausal body changes and our hormones are all over the place, then it's really important and it's actually really worthwhile to have some pieces in your closet that that really do adapt with your body so you can feel fabulous regardless of what you're doing. It's really important because otherwise what happens is that you're constantly like, oh, put on my favorite dress that doesn't fit. Oh, and then it does fit one day and it doesn't fit another. And so you go on this yo-yo, which isn't good for us. Like I'm finding that isn't very good for my psyche. So I actually, the things that I used to love that I can't wear at the moment, I either put it in a different closet or I actually give them away, or I donate them, or I resell them, or whatever, because I don't want things in my closet that just make me feel bad. If that's an incentive for you, if you have a piece of, okay, you're really working at it, and one day, and when you hit your goal weight, you're going to be able to wear it. If that's realistic for you, that's fine. But for the most part, only have things in your closet that really work for you and work for the body that you have now, because that's going to make the difference. Laura says, I can't wait for my skirt to arrive and try it with the waistcoat. Yes, Laura. So you've got the skirt that's coming so just for those who don't know, this is actually sold out now. So this fabric is sold out, but you can have it in different fabrics. So I have the same skirt but in a different fabric. So what's nice is that if you don't want all the volume or the texture of this one, then you can do it. You can wear it this way. You can have this one. Victoria, hello. Wow, these clips come over well. Oh, I'm so pleased. It's not clips, Vicky. It's actually me live. I'm live. This is the wonderful thing about technology. Mm. By the way, everybody, Victoria was my presentation because my voice coach, and she helped me find my true voice. It was amazing. I used to speak at a much higher register and always used to speak quite fast. I still, when I'm excited, Victoria, I still have to, like, Vicky, I still have to remind myself to breathe. I do my Vicky exercise, breathe, take it down. Because I get excited. All right, so now let's talk about some other layering pieces that I really love and that work like a charm. Okay, so this is one of them, and I'm going to be changing in a minute so that you can see some other outfits. But this is what I call this. Well, actually, my clients called this the magic blouse or the magic top. But this one has got some shimmer to it, which is lovely for the holidays, but also lovely for all the time. Because I think shimmer doesn't have to be reserved for just the holidays or just a special occasion. It can be for any time. Okay, so this is another piece that is really great for layering. And the reason why is because it draws attention. I'm going to come closer. Draws attention to this part of the body, which is very flattering. And then it draws the eye down the body and it disguises the belly. Do we love that or do we love that? Now, what that does for a petite woman is that it draws attention to high up into the waist, almost like a little bit higher than the waist, right here by our solar plexus. And then it draws the eye down the body. So it goes up and down. And what that does is it emphasizes and makes your legs appear longer. It also de-emphasizes your tummy and it does all the wonderful things. Plus, if you're having that kind of back fat bra moment where like you're kind of coming out of your bra, I'm having those moments. I wish I could enjoy them more, but it's the back stuff that comes along with it that's problematic. But anyway, if you're having that, it's going to cover that more. It's going to give more of that coverage. Plus, as we get, if it's upper arm coverage that you want going into the summertime, you can have the upper arm coverage with something like this. This is another layering piece that is fantastic. So if you are putting on something and you're like, it's not working, I really need something that is going to cover me up, try and think strategically about that rather than just going with something that's just going to cover up and make everything look bigger. I see that a lot where people wear a big baggy sweater and try and cover everything up, and it actually can make you look like one big blob. I'm just being honest. It is how it is. Okay. So now let's try on some other things. Don't worry, I have got tights on underneath. I have proper like thermal tights. So Laura says, I have the moment, I have that moment all the time. Laura, that's the thing. We have those moments. Listen, I don't have girls really, but like with perimenopause, oh my hat, what is going on? I don't understand. It is crazy. All right, let's talk about skirts. Oh yes, let's talk about skirts, because skirts are a wonderful piece that you can have in your closet, that if it's the right kind of skirt, it's also going to give you layering opportunities and some fun. So this is the triangle skirt that's made out of this particular fabric. Laura calls this, what did you call it, Laura? I called it gold swirl, and Laura called it um, chocolate. What was it again? You had an amazing name for it. I can't remember. You'll have to tell me. Chocolate. It was very decadent, which made me happy. I like decadence. Okay, so here's another layering example. So here we have the body stocking on underneath. Chocolate lava. That's it. It was chocolate lava. It does look like chocolate lava, right? I think that's a very good name. I should have consulted with her first. Okay, first of all, let me just show you something that it's okay because I have got very thick thermal tights on. But what I tend to do, for those of you who are cold people or live in very cold climates, I actually tuck this in. Okay. The tucking in creates this like vacuum of like warmth. I'm actually getting a little hot at the moment because it's very warm in here. I have that heating pipe in my part. We live in an old building. It's like from the 1910s or something, and it I cannot control that heat. So remember, Laura, how hot it got in here. I think I'm gonna have to open the window, even though it's like minus. I think it's -3 degrees Celsius today. For those, I don't know what it is in Fahrenheit, but it's cold. It's very cold. All right, so this is another way that you can layer. And this is a fun way to layer because you can layer a top and a skirt if it's in the same fabric and it looks like a dress. I mean, how great is that? Plus, then you can have underneath, you can have the body stocking. So if you don't want to show so much, you can wear the body stocking as is with a nude cami on underneath, or a black cami, or not, like I wear it with just a nude bra. But if that's not you, that's fine. You can then wear it like this, and you can wear it this as a dress. And again, you're emphasizing the waist, you're making your legs look longer, you're doing all the things. Plus, this triangle hem is really elongating. It draws the eye down the body. So much fun. Laura says, yes, it was hot, even with the window open. I know, right? I actually need to open the window because like, I'm getting super hot. And I don't think it's just because of the hot flash. I don't think I'm having a hot flash at the moment, although you never know. Okay, so this is a really fun look. This is just so much fun and really interesting. You can then further layer it, all right? So let's say you want to further layer, you need more layers, you need more warmth. And then if you have a hot moment, you have a hot flash, you just take the layers off. That's the wonderful thing. So layering is also really helpful when you're going through the hot flashes, especially in wintertime, because I mean, come on, like who wants to be uncomfortable? Not me. So you can go with this and then do that. And you can also close this up if you need further layering. And then you're layered. So you put your coat on over it, you take it off when you get inside, you can open this up, you can layer. And again, girlfriends, this is the thing. These are the three basic principles that we want to do. We want to define our waist with whatever we're wearing. We want to elongate our bodies with using, like defining our waist elongates our bodies, using elongating styles like in irregular or asymmetrical or triangle hem, that's going to do it. Use your footwear to also extend and make your legs look longer. Use tights to make your legs look longer, creating one long line of color. So a brown or a black or a maroon or whatever you want to do. And then on top of it, you want to then balance your volume. So in this case, there's no real volume to balance. So that's okay. But if you were wearing a big chunky sweater, it may look a little bit odd. right? Because it may not have that, it may not nip into the waist. So you always want to kind of balance those things. We often think in terms of like warm and cozy is big and chunky. That isn't necessarily the case. And especially for petite girls, chunky is hard. If you're wearing chunky, like a big chunky sweater, my suggestion is make it a fitted chunky sweater and wear it with a nice pair of pants or jeans or a skirt or whatever the case is. That will work. But wearing chunky all over is just going to make you look chunky. So maybe when we were in the 20s, it was cool, it was fine. I don't know. I did wear big clothes. I wore much bigger, because I was a girl that grew up in the 80s and I loved all the big stuff. But now I'm like, how can I look good? How can I define my waist? How can I not look bigger than I am and still be warm and comfortable? And I can be warm and comfortable in all of these things. Laura says, or is black more elongating? Would you wear brown tights and brown boots with a chocolate lava? Okay, so that's a great question. I feel that you can wear. Okay, so if you do want to continue one long line, Laura, and it also depends on the length of your boots. If your boots are full length, if they're like knee length, it's less important. If they are ankle length or shorter or like in between, it's very important. I always think, and I would normally, if I'm wearing this, I would normally wear either black boots, black tights, or I would wear brown boots, brown tights. So you can wear the brown and the black. I just for that further elongation, I would keep the line the same color. And that will give you that elongating look. What you do up here doesn't really matter because you're mixing the colors anyway. I would not normally wear black tights and brown boots. I mean, I have, but I just find it's more elongating if I keep the color the same as much as possible. Okay, so let me just see if there's one more. Yes, there is one more skirt I want to show you. So sometimes the question is, do we need to wear like the same color or the blocks of color or the blocks of print in order to create an elongating look? No, you do not. I am not a big fan of I must wear one color all the way through as a guideline because I find that boring. Honestly, I find that boring. I find it very difficult sometimes because you got to get the tones right, you got to get the shapes right, and sometimes solid colors are just not as helpful as prints are. Prints are great. You can definitely do that with prints, but I just feel like one solid color all the way down, not always the best. It can work, but it's really boring. And most times what that means is black, and more black for most women. And I'm not a fan of that. I think as we get older, we lose color in our hair, we lose color in our skin. We need that color to make a difference, to make our complexion pop. So what I want to talk about now is a different kind of, so are you mixing, how to mix and match your things and still create that elongating look? Yes, you can. So this is an example. This is a print, and then I've got a different, it's actually got a texture. It's a snake. Okay, it has a snake look to it, and yes, I can wear this and still look elongated. Why? Because it's nipping into my waist. It's got the triangle hem. It's elongating, and then again, what I would do is I would just wear brown tights, brown stockings. I mean, brown tights, brown shoes, or black and black. So that way, in this case, I quite like. I would wear either or. I think either or would look fantastic. And the nice thing is that with the tie, you can go asymmetrically, draws the eye down the body, de-emphasizes the tummy. It works really well. And this wraps over really well. And that's the case with all of my wraps. So what often happens is that with a wrap, a dress or a skirt, you get this effect, right? And that's not very flattering. It's not very helpful and it's not very flattering. What you want is that A-line shape, and then you want that so that you can adjust the waist and you can have it higher or low depending on what's happening in your belly and what kind of shoes you're wearing as well, so that you can keep that look elongated. So, and then if I wanted to, I could layer with a jacket. So I do layer with a jacket. And then I sometimes put my coat on over this. Okay, so now this is 3 layers. I probably wouldn't wear 3 layers. I probably don't need, that's a little bit OTT, but I can do this See how the shorter jacket works well, the shorter cropped. Anything that's going to be here is not going to be as flattering. So if you're wearing a longer jacket, then rather wear like a slim leg pant and keep, again, the volume would be then at the top. So this is the volume at the bottom here. You want to go shorter and cropped. If you're wearing a longer, still nipped, hopefully nipped into the waist kind of jacket or coat or something like that, then you want to have more slim at the bottom to balance the volume. So, in all of these things, ladies, they're not rules, they're simply guidelines. I break the rules or I break my own rules all the time. And I remember when I first started doing it and I felt so like, oh, I don't know, should I be doing it? And then I was like, you know what? It's absolutely fine. I can do it. It is absolutely fine because that is what it's about. It's about adjusting. And as we go through different stages of our lives and as fashion changes and as our bodies change and our taste changes, we can do all of those things. We can try all these different things and have fun with them and not be bound by a certain set of rules because actually it's just fashion and it's not that important. So I mean my whole business is based on fashion, but it's about being playful. It's about allowing yourself to play. It's about finding what works for you and having less often in your closet that really works rather than having more and nothing works. So I hope you found that helpful. If you are watching in the replay and you have questions, many of you watch in the replay, I understand. So if you're watching in the replay, feel free to put your questions in the comments below. Also, let me know what you thought of this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. I know it's kind of like an odd thing, but it actually really does help. Like this video, put your comments below, and I hopefully will see you next week.